Boys. They changed up a little bit, right? Just the name, just two letters, right? They were on that winning team.
Quickly, everybody going, okay, vehicles, incredibly important. This is going to be a big vehicle map, and I think we're going to see a lot of vehicle warfare.
See, I'm okay with that, especially on Warfare, but my thing is, what are the adaptations going to look like? Who's going to be locking in those engineers? Because anytime you think of vehicles, you think of John DeBomb. And remember what we've seen on him when it comes to main Delta Force broadcasts. It's, where are my engineers? Who's going to pocket keep my vehicle alive so that we can keep barricading forward? Now, that's where I want to see as we drop into the first game go.
Well, the first game of the day, it is time for the Delta Force Global League European Warfare Finals. Season 2 is here, and it's time to get active. And yes, of course, you do start with the tank, so we're going to get active here quickly. Now, a couple things. As a reminder, we are in our in-game spectator. This is our esports spectator. We've got an amazing map fly through. We've got, look at this overview free cam. It's awesome. But as we go through, feel free to ask questions as needed. Red is going to be your attackers all day today. Defense is going to be in green. So pay attention to those colors as needed as we swap POVs and take a look at some of these fights.
Oh, yeah, immediately just popping up some of these angles. That's what I was most worried about when it came to Trainwreck, are these open spaces. But when you get granular into here, how can you keep an eye on every single angle? But mind you, we're keeping an eye out for our top slayers and our top medics. So prioritizing those reses is going to go a long way, especially with being in Victory Unite mode, less tickets.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Obviously, some nuance to Victory Unite. That's something that you'll have to continue to pay attention to, is you're going to only have 200 tickets to start things off, 200 lives to work with on the attack. I saw players talking about it in Discord, super prioritizing making sure to keep each other up as much as possible on the attacking side. Defense, absolutely the same as well. But it was funny, looking so far so good for the defense. I was looking at the Discord, and one of the things that the defense said was, hey, the first point, very difficult to hold. Don't worry about it too much. We really want to set up for the points coming a little bit after. But so far so good for the first, 15 tickets, 25 tickets or so.
Look, if you're going to have Polska Gurem on Team Alpha, that was your heavy-hitting team. That was the mainstay when it came to Season 1 on Team Bravo. They attributed for the most amount of kills on the map and almost broke 1,000. Look, they're like 250 away. It was really impressive. Of course, you do have, I believe, let's see, it is Volkswagen who's potentially new for the finals alongside Polska Gurem, so keep tabs on them.
Yeah, and we're going to take a quick look, swinging around the corner. Yellow Love on your screen right now. Usually our team, the boys as it were, we've got somebody in a vehicle and everybody else is running engineers to make sure they stay alive. You can see on the attacking side, I believe that's Westa in the tank, barely able to stay up, and they're getting pressured, quickly taken down. A great effort there from Relax to make sure that tank gets cut down. That's a big pain, a big thorn in the side of the attack. To bring down the tank this early in the first 50 lives, impressive stuff from the defense. They are losing point A, but it's still a massive victory to get that tank out of here.
Well, look, you got 30 seconds left on that urgent backup deployment. Love this update that came in from Victory Unite. You get temporarily reduction on your allies to redeploy and get back in it. So we can be hyper aggressive. You can dive in and just keep putting that pressure onto them. As you can see, Slicks do just that. Back up to the free cam. You can see the setup here. And honestly, if you just look over to the top right, the red is getting annihilated. But one was just trying to hold on, not before being completely taken off guard.
Yeah, and this is what I was a little bit worried about. Again, green's going to be your defense, so to start things off with that tank down, yes, they had some people on the point, but without the pressure from the vehicle, all of a sudden, the defense has rallied back and almost completely taken back this point. So far, so good. Usually, when we talk about metrics of success in Warfare here, Tiff, talk about a 90 to 100 lives or so per point is about max you want to spend on the attack. Anything more than that is a big win for the defense, as you're not going to be going into the next point on max lives.
All right, well, on the board, John DeBomb, Yellow Love, Slicks, and Heisen, the commander you were outlining, and it's really good to kind of see them run it back, especially if they had prior won in Season 1. You're going to come in with that ultimate confidence. They played in a ton of the show matches, so we get a lot of information on how they work together, and their cohesion is crazy. The vibes are always high, but you can see 2 engineers, and you have that Luna 4 information. Love that. But when it comes to this close range combat, people have been testing different weapons, and I've been seeing a lot of the QBQ lately, and that has been really fun to see.
Yeah, this kill feed is lighting up green. Huge success so far for the defense. Finding another great angle over the top. You know, one of the things I saw the players talking about is like, we don't have to play extremely aggressive as the attack. We can slow it down a little bit, make sure we play together. We don't want to waste lives. And unfortunately, well, that strategy was working earlier. All of a sudden, without the extra firepower from their tank, things are looking a hair grim. We're going to see the Aluru guided missile coming out, try to help out teammates. Get some assists, but so far, a very clean hold from the defense right now. A is completely swarmed by the defense. They've held all angles. And this is the strategy you oftentimes see on the first couple points. If it works, you can hold them at the very first point. The key to it is not body stacking on the point. It's separating and picking up players on the attack on spawn, making sure they don't have a large group of numbers all working together, making one coordinated push. If you can keep them on their back foot, keep them separated, absolutely could hold here on the very first point, which would be a huge win for the defense.
All right, well, we're going up the top, and we immediately pick 2, and Canyon kind of regrets that peak, but it looked good for just a moment. Reinforcements coming that way. Now, if we can filter our way past the cement truck, over top of the wood pile, we're just trying to take these head peeks and really work towards A if we can through these angles. But it's been incredibly difficult because you're right, the defense has been so powerful. Now that we're looking less than 75 tickets, how are we going to turn this around?
Yeah, it's going to be, we're going to turn it around by taking down Q-Pitch right here.
You're going to try.
Absolutely frying SMG, AR, pistol. Doesn't matter what he's got. Q-Pitch going crazy. Good call out top of show, Tiff. Great player, but a new tank is on the board, and Westa immediately gets into the mix, trying to open up the point. Decent move. Here's the problem. If you just go swarming to the point immediately, trying to open up for the team, you're going to lose that vehicle nearly immediately as well. This is not pubs, folks. This is coordinated esports effort, and because of that, these vehicles will not last long if you get too close to the point. The defense has set up near flawlessly thus far, and they've just got to do it for probably only a couple minutes more, and they're going to win on the very first point.
Oh, breaking out the signal decoder and just trying to get closer if we can. M14 in hand, and you saw some nice pepperings and a couple angles, but we haven't really been able to get the fulls in the data knife. Just trying to finish it off, but can't do it. But the pressure from behind, check out that dive to the flick around, is just not gonna work.
Yeah, defense is doing everything right here. They're finally, even if they do lose the point here, this is such a victory for the defense to be able to hold for this long. Finally exchanging hands. Only for the second time in this entire game do we see red on point A. And they've got a vehicle there again. Not a tank, but a vehicle nonetheless. And with that transport there, they lose it quickly. AT4s in hand. The defense making one final effort to hold and win the game on point A. And they might be doing it. Look at this defense push. They're picking up doubles and triples just about on every single player. All of a sudden, there's more green than red on the point. This is almost a stalemate, but I think the defense is winning this fight.
All I see is Heisen, John DeBomb going crazy, and Vabatrow falls, the last member of Toxic Team. We'll see them kind of get respawned shortly, which honestly, when you think back to Season 1, they were on that losing side of things, so they do not want to lose here in Season 2. It's a redemption run for them as we see that tank just on the inside. Here come the missiles looking to put that pressure on the vehicles. You mentioned vehicle warfare, but we're trying to deny that, especially when you have to thread through these wooden structures. It can be really difficult. It's more of just a kind of a nuisance at that point.
Yeah, honestly, I just think this is another mistake. I mean, we've got the tank. Now, at this point, when you've got a tank, sure, you've got 10 lives remaining. You got to get onto the point. The problem is we just wasted 2 full tanks before this by swarming the point. And we could have played patient, made a coordinated push, and then be able to push onto this point. Right now, defense has entire control over the point. 1-2 lives remaining. That's going to be it for the very first game. Unbelievable hold from the defense. Absolutely phenomenal work being able to.
It's that Neffel safe, right? Formerly known as Full Safe. We told you about those changes that they did have some really stellar performances. So let's click on over to the overall so you can really break it down. It's still